Okay, for this, we will first remove all the default content. Then I'll use the HTML tag first. I'll put a background on it. Okay, so as we see, the background is applied to the HTML tag. Now then we will select the body tag. Now for selecting the body tag, what we usually do is just do body and this. So instead of that, I'll just write this as everything plus everything. So it means it selects the body, or another efficient way which actually saves some characters is doing this, which is CSS nesting. This was added to this CSS battle very recently, I guess. I'll just put some background. Actually, this needs to be a direct child. Yeah. And we can write this HTML as ampersand, because ampersand also denotes the root of the element, which is the HTML basically. We would need some tag. I'll just use p tag for now. I'll write the p tag style before the HTML to save some characters, because if we write it after, we would require it to provide two closing brackets, one for the body and one for the HTML. Or if we want to nest it like this, we would still require these two characters. So it is better to write the p styles earlier. The way I'm gonna do it is using borders. I'll use a double border because we can actually, we just remove this. Okay, we will use this color. Let's just say 50 pixel for now. To me, this looks like 30 pixel maybe. So for the double border to actually match, we have to use 30 plus 30 plus 30, so that it will align accurately. So what we can do is just do this 90. Yeah, the width of the border looks accurate to me. Then we will use the height to make some space in between. Also, we don't need to specify the unit for the height. By default, CSS Battle actually parses this 30 as 30 pixels. So now, after that, I'll just rotate it, because target image is also rotated and in the negative direction. Or you can actually rotate it completely by 180 minus 45, which is I think 135. Yeah, that should actually work, but I'll just use minus 45 because it's easier. I'll put some margin to align it to the grid, this grid. Let's start by 10. Okay, it's almost aligned. I think it is 5, right? Yeah, this looks nice to me. And as we can see, the inline margin is not aligned. So what we can do is put a negative margin. Okay, it does look good to me. I'll just, to be on a safer side, use minus 5 so that we don't fall short later. This looks good to me. Now, the part where we have to remove all the unnecessary borders. So what we can do in our body selector, which we used by nesting, we can actually do a clip path of an inset. We don't need this ending bracket. I'll start with like 10 pixels. Okay, so 30 does match. Now comes the inline part where I will just use like 100 pixels. Okay, so after we have done this, I think we are good to go. As you can see, we have got a 100% match. Now comes the shaving part where we actually convert all the units or the measurements to its shorter form. So for example, like this 90 pixels. What we can do, actually, we all know that the default font size of the HTML is 16 pixels, right? And the default line height is actually 18 pixels. So we know that one line height equals 18 pixels. So what we can do is 18 times 5 is 90, like this. So we can just write 90 as 5LH. LH actually stands for line height. So we can write 90 as 5LH and it would still be the same, but as you can see, this takes 4 characters and 5LH only takes 3 characters. So we have saved 1 character. Now for 32 pixels, we can use a unit called Q, which I think stands for quarter millimeter, if I'm correct, which is 0.25 pixels. No, sorry. Actually, it is 0.26 pixels. 1Q is equals to 0.26 pixels. We'll just write this 30 pixels as 31Q, which is 0.26 times 31, which will approximately will be equal to 30 pixels. I think it's 32. Yeah, that looks good to me. And we know that the viewport height is actually 300 pixels, right? So we can write this 117 pixels as 39 viewport height, and that looks good to me. If we submit, we get 100% match. That's it. Thank you for watching.